Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour, an episode of the Bud Abbott Lou Costello Show, as it was originally broadcast February 24th, 1949. And this episode is the main part of it's a Sam Shovel skit. And, well, the case of the housefly that drowned himself when he walked into a pot of hot coffee or strolling through the Perc one day.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure. Chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
What's all this yelling for? And stop it and tell me, where have you been all day?
Well, I'll tell you as soon as I look. Abbott, my grandfather died this morning.
Oh, that's too bad. What is to become of your grandmother?
Oh, Grandpa took care of that. He did something for Grandma in a cookie jar in the kitchen.
What was it, money?
No, cookies.
When are you going out and get yourself a job?
Well, I'm trying, Abbott. See, I work 20 girl hours a day.
You mean man hours?
You work your hours, I'll work mine.
See, you're just a dope. Did you ever go to school?
Yes, sir, I went to school. I'll never forget until I was 13 years old. I had long golden curls, and one night my mother cut them off.
Oh, I'll bet the teacher was surprised the next day.
Not as much as the kid that sat next to me. He'd been carrying my books home for 2 years.
Get him out of here. All right. Well, wait a minute. You look tired.
You're not kidding.
You do look tired, though, Lou.
Well, I'll tell you.
What?
I stayed home last night, Abbott. I sat in the living room in the dark all night reading Darwin's theory on relativity of monkeys to man.
You sat in the dark reading. How can you read in the dark?
I figured that if you don't understand what you're reading, what's the use of straining your eyes?
You know nothing. You know nothing about books. Your whole family is illiterate.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so.
Well, my Uncle Tom is a great writer. The poor guy, his wife ran away with a sailor. All the animals on his farm died. Cyclone blew down his barn. His car rolled off a cliff. He had a bad case of laryngitis. His house burned down. And in trying to put out the fire, he climbed up the fireman's ladder and fell off and broke every bone in his body. So he wrote the story of his life, and now it's on the radio.
What's it called?
A Date with Judy.
Well, never mind that. Where have you been? Never mind that, Lou. Where have you been all afternoon?
Right around option time, they keep laughing them up.
Lou, where have you been all afternoon?
Well, I went to the movies, Abbott, and I sat through the picture 15 times.
Why did you sit through the picture 15 times?
I couldn't remember where I came in.
I suppose you took Viola Vaughn to the movies with you?
No, sir, I got a new girl. Oh, she's got a beautiful house. She's got a great big bathroom with a Grecian bathtub.
She has?
Yeah, I don't know what she needs it for. I've been over there every night for 2 weeks. Not one Greek come over there for a bath.
You and your girls, you dummy. You don't know the first thing about girls.
I'll have you know that I've been going with girls all my life. Why, when I was 16 years old, I smoked my first cigarette and kissed my first girl.
Who did you kiss?
Who knows? The smoke got in my eyes.
I don't know why I even talk to you. You have no culture. You know nothing about literature. You know nothing about art. You know nothing about music.
Hold it right there.
What?
Abbott, when you're speaking about music, you're looking at the former child prodigy.
You were?
When I was only 4 years old, my mother bought me a piano. Before I was 5 years old, I made $400.
Giving recitals?
No, I sold the piano.
You're an idiot, and your whole family are idiots.
Oh, I don't know. My brother Pat is really smart. He just invented a new breakfast food. It's called Gorgeous George Flakes.
A breakfast food called Gorgeous George Flakes?
Yes, I got some right here in my pocket. Here, taste them.
Let's see.
Take them. It's not bad, huh?
Wait a minute. That stuff is terrible. It tastes like chopped up whisk brooms.
It is. Of course, it's got no food value, but it sweeps out your stomach.
Hello, Uncle Louie.
Hey, it's Abbott's nephew.
What do you want, nephew Norman?
Well, Uncle Bud, I've just been reading a book, and it says that the girls that graduate from Vassar College have 3.1 children, and the girls that graduate from UCLA have 1.2 children. And this proves conclusively that women have more children than men.
And why not? They're home a lot.
Gee, you know, Uncle Louie, you're pretty smart. I know a guy who'd give $10 just for your head.
Scientist?
No, he runs a bowling alley.
You know, Abbott, I wish sometimes this was a giveaway program.
Why?
I'd like to give away your nephew, Norman.
You lay off my nephew.
Abbott, I just found out why they call him Norman Mixmaster Abbott.
How did he get the middle name of Mixmaster?
When he was born, his father took one look at him, threw all his money in a bowl, and beat it.
Costello, how can you be so pleasant one moment and so mean the next? You're a regular Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Who were they? A team like Amos and Andy and Abbott and Costello?
No. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde were one man. Or rather, they were really two men. Only actually, they were only one man. Don't you know the story?
No, and it don't sound like you do either.
Well, it's a very famous story. Are you familiar with Robert Louis Stevenson?
Why, he hardly ever speaks to me.
You idiot. Stevenson has been dead for over 40 years.
No wonder he hardly ever speaks to me.
I've read all of his stories. He wrote sea stories. Oh, I love the sea.
You love the sea?
Yes. Love of the sea runs in my family. My great-grandfather was a sea dog. My grandfather was a sea dog. My father was a sea dog. And then along came he.
Well, luck can't hold out forever. A water spaniel had to creep in there someplace.
You idiot. You know nothing about the sea. The ocean is wonderful. Have you ever seen the flying fishes fly and the leaping tuna leap?
No, but I saw the dolphins dolph. And I've heard the porpoises perp.
Why don't you come fishing with me next Sunday? Costello, I'm going out on my sloop. Do you know anything about sloops?
I love sloops. There's nothing like a hot bowl of sloop with crackers.
Yeah, dummy, you wouldn't know the difference between a sloop and a gunboat.
That's what I had for lunch. Chicken gunboat sloop.
Come in.
Hiya, fellas.
What do you want?
Nothing. I saw a sign out there that said, ring the bell for Abbott and Costello.
Well?
What's the matter? Can't you guys ring it yourselves?
If I was to tell you that these guys that do one line get more than us, you wouldn't believe it.
Costello, did you hire that actor that was just in here?
Certainly. That was Milton Bronson from New York.
Milton Bronson. Never heard of him.
Well, he just completed a very successful run in New York of 32 weeks on the Astor roof where he was nailing down tar paper. And speaking of tar paper, Abbott, here comes our beautiful secretary, Viola Vaughn.
Say, I heard that remark, Costello, and I came here to tell you that I'm leaving you for another man.
Who is it, Van Johnson?
No.
Gregory Peck?
No.
Robert Taylor?
No.
Am I warm?
If you were warm, I wouldn't be leaving you.
That's telling him, Viola.
Viola, sweetheart, you can't leave me. I love you. Come into my arms and give me a kiss.
I can't. You've got a cigar in your mouth.
What are you worrying about? It's not lit.
You have no romance in your soul.
Yes, Abbott is right, Costello. Have you ever really made love to a girl?
Last week I met a girl under a tree in Griffith Park. We sat under that tree and made love. Every time I kissed her, she'd carve my initials in a tree. Every time I kissed her, she'd carve her initials in a tree. Every time she'd kiss me, I'd carve her initials in a tree. And every time she kissed me, I'd carve my initials in a tree.
Then what happened?
About 9:30, the tree fell over and hit us on the head.
You must be pretty sharp at kissing.
Well, Viola, my kisses come in 4 delicious flavors.
What are they?
Baked, fried, barbecued, and hitch up the fire engine, boys. There's going to be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Viola, why don't you marry Costello?
Why, that's the most obnoxious proposition I've had this year.
I knew you'd like it, Viola. Viola, if you marry me, we'll have a boy for me and a girl for you, and a boy for me and a girl for you, and a boy for me and a girl for you.
Wait a minute. What about me?
We're not taking any more orders right now. Viola, I'm going to kiss you.
Costello, if you kiss me, I'll tell all my other boyfriends.
Tell your girlfriends. It'll do me more good.
Viola, you know how Costello and I feel about you, and it's up to you to choose between us.
I did. This afternoon I was in the woods, and I picked a daisy, and as I pulled off the petals, I said, I love Abbott, I love Costello. I love Abbott, I love Costello.
And which one of us won?
Matty Malnick.
Matty Malnick?
Uh-huh.
How did he get in this?
He was in the woods with me when I picked the daisy. No, I'm only kidding, Lou. You're really the one I love.
Naturally.
Oh, come here. Let me put my arms around you. There. Just rest your head on my shoulders. Lou,
Yes.
would you mind if I ran my fingers through your hair?
I wouldn't care if you ran through it in your bare feet. Viola, when you hold me like this, I get a naked feeling in my chest.
Is it love?
No, you're bending my junior G-man's badge.
Get him out of here!
And there's a lot more mad stuff still to come. Right now, a change of pace to let you hear this.
February 24th, 1949, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with more of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, February 24th, 1949.
Oh, hey, Abbott! Oh, no. Hey, I just been thinking. We got an offer. We ought to do something about it.
What are you talking about?
Well, you remember the deal CBS made with Jack Benny? They gave him $6 million to come over to their network.
Yes.
Well, CBS wants to give us $9 million.
What for?
To stay on ABC.
You idiot. Comparing yourself to Jack Benny. Jack is a great comedian.
I'm a great comedian.
Oh, Jack Benny is always good for a laugh.
I'm always good for a laugh.
Jack Benny gets $20,000 a week.
I'm always good for a laugh.
Jack Benny made Waukegan famous. That's in Illinois, you know.
Hey, you wouldn't have known it had you been there in the script. So what? I made Patterson, New Jersey famous. I made the whole state of New Jersey famous.
Now, wait a minute. What did you do for New Jersey?
I was born in New Jersey.
So what?
I went to school number 15 in New Jersey. I made friends with everybody in New Jersey. I'm always rooting for New Jersey. When I was 16 years old, I formed a band, and we played all over New Jersey.
What was the name of your band?
Lou Costello and his Royal Canadians.
Will you please talk sense? Hey, wait a minute. Come here. What is that book you're carrying?
Well, it's my new Sam Shovel detective book. I just finished writing it. I call it 100 Steps to Take When You Come Face to Face with a Killer.
Sounds interesting. What are the steps?
What are the steps? I'll read them to you. Step 1, move in front of the killer. Step 2, place your hand on the doorknob. Step 3, open the door.
Wait, that's 3.
Right.
What about the other 97 steps?
As soon as you get to the door open, take them as fast as you can.
You insist on doing Sam Shovel tonight. I hope you have an interesting case.
Oh, that I have.
You have?
But it's a very sad case, Abbott. I call it the case of the housefly who drowned when he walked in a pot of hot coffee, or strolling through the Perc one day.
Well, okay. Let's get on with it.
I'm Sam Shovel, Private Eye.
Hello, Sam.
That's the beautiful nurse who works for the doctor across the hall. He's an eye specialist. She makes a spectacle of herself. There's a lot of doctors in this building. Next door to me is a cat doctor. I wouldn't go to him. Very few cats make good doctors. I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping good lately. My bedroom is right next to the nursery. All night long I keep hearing wails in the nursery. Just wails from the nursery. Sometimes I wish I had kids. Bell phone rings. Receiver up. Oh. Hello, Sam Shovel. I was giving you the whole works. Hello, Sam Shovel, private detective speaking.
Hello, Sam. This is the chief of police of San Francisco. I need your help. Some darn crook stole the Golden Gate Bridge.
When did you first notice it was missing?
This morning when I heard several loud splashes.
That's the way it goes in this business. You get all kinds of cases. I'm working on a case about a man, a crook, who steals soda pop. Nothing but soft drinks. The police have him tabbed as public enemy number 7-Up. This office gets busier every day. I gotta get some new furniture. There's an ad in the paper. It says knee-hole desk, half price. No wonder they're selling them at half price. Very few people have holes in their knees big enough to put a desk in. Here's another headline. Los Angeles buses to run on schedule. It would be better if we could get them to run on the street. I noticed my pal, Lieutenant Abbott, of the homicide squad coming towards the office. Lieutenant Abbott is a self-made man. His family was very poor. Not only did he come into this world without a cent to his name, but when he was born, he owed $17. Abbott was an incubator baby, but his family was so poor he couldn't afford an incubator. For the first 6 months of his life, he sat in a can of Sterno.
Hello, Sam Shovel.
It's my pal, Lieutenant Abbott. You look tired, Lieutenant.
Yeah. I've been out all morning showing a bunch of rookie cops the ropes.
Showing them the ropes? I'll bet that's a tough job.
No, it ain't so tough. I just march them into a hardware store and say, men, those are the ropes.
Come to think of it, Abbott, you ain't tired. It's your jokes.
By the way, Sam, how do you feel?
Like a banjo.
Like a banjo? How's that?
Everybody's picking on me. Oh, there's 2 tired jokes. Anybody want to buy them?
Talk sense, Sam. I'm going to let you in on a very important case from Scotland Yard. Lady Stirring Spoon, the famous English jewel smugglers in town, turn over a load of diamonds to Limehouse Harry, the fence. We've got Limehouse Harry in jail. Lady Stirring Spoon has never met Limehouse, and I want you to take his place. If you do this, you'll get a lot of cases from Scotland Yard.
How can I be sure of getting more cases from Scotland Yard?
Well, they will always be in England.
Yes, and I hope we can afford it.
Yeah, in case you don't know, in 1949, the U.S. was sending lots of aid to England for recovery from World War II. February 24th, 1949, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. The conclusion, along with an episode of Claudia, next when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Abbott and Costello from February 24th, 1949.
Enough of this nonsense, Sam. We're going over to Lady Stirring Spoon's hideout. And remember, you're supposed to be Limehouse Harry, the English fence.
Lieutenant Abbott and I hurried to Lady Stirring Spoon's hideout. I, impersonating Limehouse Harry, knocked on the door. The door was opened by one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. She was wearing a Berlin airlift dress. In order to see her, you had to fly over it. Lady Stirring Spoon, I'm Limehouse Harry, and I'm a fence.
A fence?
A fence.
You look more like the wall around the La Brea tar pits. Limehouse Harry, eh? Why'd you ever leave London?
Well, old girl, I couldn't very well take it with me.
Down the business, Sam. Got to get the diamonds.
Oh, yes. Lady Stirring Spoon, before you give the diamonds, would you give me a kiss?
Well... Well, you are nice, Harry.
Yes.
But kissing during business hours is hardly cricket.
Oh, come.
All right, Harry. Come here. There. And I still say that's not cricket.
Lady, if cricket was like that, it would run baseball right out of town.
Harry, you know, you intrigue me. You're such a wit. How would you like to be my 5th husband?
5th? What happened to the other 4?
Oh, they all died of natural causes. Pneumonia.
How do you know it was pneumonia?
They always coughed so when I took them out of the deep freeze.
That's enough of this nonsense. That's me. You quiet, I'll talk. Enough is enough.
You never had this girl kiss you, did you?
Quiet. Just a minute.
Guarantee
Lady
you lose your place
Stirring
20 times.
We're cops.
What?
I'm Sam Shovel, the detective, and I'm Lieutenant Abbott, and we're taking you to jail.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, no, please, not that. Please, Mr. Sam Shovel, don't take me to jail.
Lieutenant, she's too beautiful to put in jail. Let's give her a chance.
Sam, you're crazy. She's a crook. What do you propose to do?
Lady Stirring Spoon, I know you're a crook, but I'm going to give you a chance.
Oh, Sam, if you do, I'll never steal anything again.
Okay. I'm going to turn out the lights and count 3. Then I'll turn them on again. If all the diamonds you stole are on that table when the lights go on, I'll let you go free. Out with the lights. 1, 2, 3. Turn on the lights.
Sam! The diamonds are not on the table, and Lady Stirring Spoon is gone. Where did she go?
Never mind her, Lieutenant. What happened to my pants?
Get him out of here! Well, Costello, I worked hard tonight, and I could stand a drink.
You know, I don't drink, Abbott, but if you come over to my house, I'll mix you one of my Uncle Mike's favorites.
What does it consist of?
Well, first you take a quart of bourbon, mix it with 3 quarts of gin and a pint of vodka. Then you add 4 bottles of brandy, shake it all up together and drink it. It's called a California pedestrian cocktail.
Why do you call it a California pedestrian cocktail?
One drink and you'll never know what hit you.
Well, I'll try it. Before we say goodnight, let's tell the folks who helps us put this show on every Thursday night.
Let's. Okay, our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman, with Paul Collin, Pat Costello, Martin Ragway, and Leonard Stern.
And our producers, Charles Vander.
Good night, folks.
Good night to everybody in Patterson. Good night.
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
February 24th, 1949, Abbott and Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go to February 24th, 1948, and an episode of the soap opera Claudia.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia. Claudia, based on the play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you, transcribed, Monday through Friday, by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Claudia? Claudia, don't get lost. Who's lost? I think I ought to tie a bell on you like a cow or something. So when you wander off like that, I know which way to send the bloodhound.
What would a cow and bloodhounds be doing in a department store?
I'm sure I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing in one.
You came here with me to have the toaster fixed, remember? Mama, isn't that a lovely scarf?
You mean the gray one?
With the silver threads in it.
It's nice, but I didn't think you wanted a scarf.
Well, I don't really. Maybe I ought to get something for the house.
Like a scarf or bedroom slippers. That's all you've looked at so far. What do they have to do with a toaster?
Oh, they just happen to be around. Mama, look at that. Isn't that just the thing for the house?
Isn't what?
That thing over there.
It's impolite to point, but maybe you'd better anyway.
I don't see why it is.
Why it is what?
Impolite to point. How's anybody supposed to know what you're talking about if you can't point?
Some people have been known to describe things. When they're talking about barn doors, they're intelligent enough to say barn doors. You apparently... Well, all you can do is point.
Mama, anybody can tell a barn door when they see it, but who can tell what that is?
I thought you said it was just a thing for the house.
What I can tell of it is...
Oh, that thing.
What would you call it?
Well, it's a combination barometer and thermometer and clock and something else.
It says humidity.
Then it's probably a dial for telling you how much humidity there is in the air.
Well, who wants to know that?
Lots of people, I guess.
Lots of people who want to know how much humidity there is in the air want to know, but I can't think of anybody else, can you?
I'm afraid I can't. And it's all mounted on a tobacco humidor.
What do you think of it?
I'm afraid it's so practical that it's completely useless. What do you think?
The humidor spoils it. It'd be too much for David.
You think David would like that?
No, he'd hate it. I think.
That's the first thing you've said all morning that makes any sense. Now, come on, Claudia. Toasters get fixed on the second floor.
No, I have to get something for the house. Excuse me. Maybe we can't even use it at all for a while, but it's sort of to celebrate it.
Like a weather vane, maybe?
That's just right. Or an iron duck with our names on it to put out in front. Only Mr. Paradiso's going to make us a sign. He said he would.
Who's Mr. Paradiso?
Oh, he's in Eastbrook.
I didn't ask you where Mr. Paradiso is.
Didn't you? With a name like that, I always think everybody's going to ask where he is. He's the general contractor.
Then you found one.
We saw his name on a sign, and this is the first house he ever worked on. I mean, for himself.
And it's the first house you've ever owned.
Yep.
This combination could be as harmonious a mixture as 10 pounds of dynamite in a kitchen mat.
You don't know Mr. Paradiso.
Let's surprise me, shall we? And wait till he's finished working on the house. Perhaps then it won't be considered necessary for me to meet him.
He's the sweetest and the most impolite man you ever met. Everybody in Eastbrook thinks he's a whippersnapper and brash and obstreperous and inexperienced. And he keeps interrupting. And, Mama, he's charming. David and he get along beautifully.
It couldn't be that your general impression of him is rather colored by the way you feel about the house.
Oh, no.
It couldn't be that just because you're so specially excited about the house, you're excited about Mr. Paradiso, too.
Who's excited about the house especially?
Couldn't be you, could it? Why, your eyes are so bright that if you were a few years younger, I'd be sure you had the measles again.
It is exciting.
For a long time, you didn't seem to.
It's so exciting, it almost doesn't seem fair.
That's a funny word.
I mean, when so many people have no place at all. Not even a place to be alone in. It just doesn't seem right that we should be owning a place of our own. And Mr. Paradiso says it's one of the finest houses in Eastbrook. I mean, as an architect.
Then you like the house.
Like it? Do you realize it's an authentic salt box built in 1760?
If I didn't realize it after a month of hearing about it and seeing it 4 times, I'd be a lot stupider than even I admit to being.
And it was built by Adam Martin, who built a lot of the finest old places in Connecticut.
That's fine. Are you going to like living in it as much as you like owning it?
Living in it? I didn't even think about that. But, Mama, it is a wonderful house.
You've decided that. And I suppose this present you dragged me down here to buy is a sort of apology to it for having taken so long to find out.
I don't understand you at all. Sometimes. A little.
You understand me perfectly. Well, let's get on with it. We've got to find you a peace offering.
It has to be something really special.
And we have to find it today.
Well, don't you think it's best to get things when you're all excited about them?
I think it's best to get them when you have some place to send them, especially when you can send them where you want them to go.
That's just what I don't want to do.
You want to keep them in your apartment so you can remember that you're a couple of landowners.
That's it?
Is it likely to be in the way?
It doesn't have to be something big, just something for the house.
Like a plowshare.
That's big.
Well, you do know something about farming after all. How about those umbrella stands over there?
Where?
Wouldn't that be just the thing for the front door?
Mama, you aren't serious.
How about fireplace matches?
They won't keep, will they? Besides, I can't see why ordinary matches aren't just as good.
I expect after 2 years in Eastbrook, you'll be making your fires by rubbing 2 sticks together.
You know, I've been thinking about andirons.
They'll be handy to have in your apartment all winter long. How about a mailbox?
The house has one.
A croquet set?
This is going to be a farm, Mama. Hey, look.
What now?
That sign in front of the elevator. The advertisement, I mean.
That?
Don't you think it's perfect? It's just what we're going to need.
But, Claudia, it's so...
Come on, Mama. The elevator's almost full.
You're serious?
I certainly am. And I'm going to have them send it over this afternoon.
Claudia! Oh, Claudia! It's me, I'm home. Great. Jumping bullfrogs, what's that?
David, why didn't you make any songs? I didn't hear you come in. I was fixing my hair. Did you notice anything different? Darling, you're home.
One moment, please.
Oh, you noticed it.
Noticed it? I can't notice anything else.
Darling, that's sweet. Do you like it?
How can I tell if I like it? You haven't unwrapped it.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm so used to it already. I thought you meant my hair.
What is that?
That? Oh, it's a little something for the house.
A little something for the house. Well, it looks like a big house for the something.
It really isn't so big.
Oh, no. Locomotives are bigger, I suppose.
I mean, it's just the wrappings that make it look so big.
You mean it's just 6 feet of paper, and when we get it all off, there's a pocket knife inside?
Why don't you just take it off and see?
Why take it off here? Why didn't you have it sent right to the country? Or
Well...
what I mean is, what was the big hurry? We don't need anything up there for the next 3 months, anyhow.
That's just why I had it sent here.
Oh, well, everything's perfectly clear now.
You're just going to stand there? Aren't you even going to open it at all? Haven't you any curiosity?
Oh, I've got curiosity, all right, but I'm a little bit scared. Whatever it is, it's big enough to eat us. Claudia, it isn't a cow.
That is silly. If it were a cow, Bluff would be barking at it.
Well, here goes. Why, it's a hammock.
It's a very special kind of a hammock. It's the newest kind of a steel hammock you don't even need trees for.
I must admit, it's the most streamlined hammock I ever saw. It looks practically jet-propelled.
David, it was such a bargain.
I'll bet it was. I know my wife.
Just as soon as it gets warm, we're going to put it out behind the kitchen under a tree, and you can lie there all afternoon and read the Sunday papers.
It's warm enough right now. And I'm going to climb in the hammock and read my evening papers in comfort.
You can't do that. This is for the country.
A hammock's just what we've always needed in this apartment.
It is?
I was hoping you'd give me one for Christmas, but you didn't seem to get the hint.
Who ever heard of a hammock in an apartment?
Oh, who cares who heard of it? Now, let's see. Where are my white flannels?
What do you need them for?
Well, if a man's going to lie in a hammock, he's got to be dressed for it. And my beach umbrella.
We haven't got a beach umbrella. We haven't even got a beach.
Well, we'll have to get one. Now, how can I read in the hammock with the sun getting in my eyes?
Nobody said you had to read. You can just lie in it and smoke a pipe. We'll have to buy you a corn cob right this minute.
Now you're getting the idea, darling. Do you know how to get in it?
What do you think it is, an upper berth? Are you waiting to ring for the porter and have him bring you a ladder?
I can see you've had very little experience with hammocks. They're easy to climb in, but not so easy to stay in.
Sounds like a canoe.
Now, I'm going to get in, and don't you rock the boat.
Aye, sir.
All right, here we go. It's leaning a little starboard. Well,
Sure you don't mean port, sailor?
This isn't the life.
How do you feel?
How do you like that view of our meadow? Oh, listen to the cattle mooing.
Is it time to milk them? Tomorrow, darling, I'm going to get a pail.
Well, you can milk them tomorrow. I'm glad we decided to have that bay window changed. Certainly looks nice from out here, doesn't it?
And that brook, listen to it babble. Or do I mean you?
Darling,
You mustn't insult a man when he's lying in a hammock. He's liable to fall out and make dents in your farm.
Don't you want me to rock you, darling?
No, you climb aboard, matey. Come on. We can rock it ourselves.
Is there room for two in a hammock?
Well, there's only one way to find out. And wait till you see what a view of our farm you'll get from up here.
Well, I'm going to try. I'll stand on this chair and then I'll just step in.
Right, take it easy. Take it easy. It's all right, old boy. You like it up here in the country.
Here I come, David.
Take it easy now. These things are tricky.
Well, you made it seem easy enough.
Hey, watch out. Watch out. Not so fast.
Oh. This is wonderful.
It is sort of especially cozy, isn't it?
David, if people always had hammocks, why did anyone ever bother inventing a bed?
If people had always had you, no one would have bothered inventing the moon. It's unnecessary. It's gilding the lily.
That's sweet. David, I love you.
I love you, too.
Hey, don't tip the canoe.
Well, don't try to stand up in it either.
I won't. Say, David, how does anybody get out of a hammock?
It's impossible. You might as well resign yourself to spend the night right
My
here.
resignation is cheerfully accepted.
You can't climb out the top.
And if you try to go over the side, you tip it over. So here we are. Oh, how nice.
Claudia! Claudia, don't wiggle so. Claudia!
I'm not wiggling.
Claudia, look out!
Oh, David!
Are you hurt, darling?
Just my pride.
Then cheer up. You can eat off the mantle.
This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney. Isn't it nice that so many food stores have Coca-Cola coolers these days? Makes marketing practically a pleasure, doesn't it? Now, when you get impatient or weary, just look around for the familiar red cooler. Spend 5 minutes and 5 cents. Enjoy a bottle of ice-cold Coke, and you can finish your marketing refreshed. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola.
I imagine a lot of you are too young to remember when there was a Coca-Cola bottling plant in every significant-sized town. We had one in our little town of 25,000 in Emporia, Kansas, and we would go in to watch them bottle it every so often. So there you go. Claudia, February 24th, 1948. Please visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me. classicradio.stream. And remember that our shows are available through Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, even available through Amazon and through the Audible app. Just search around anywhere audio is served for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You got to remember those last 3 words, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station. A card or a letter to them means more than you could ever imagine. And support their advertisers. They pay the bills. And please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.